Is it possible to have too much of a good thing? You ever heard that expression or that question before in your life? I'm sure you have, like I have, right? This idea that, like, okay, cake is good, but if you eat too much cake, it'll make you sick, right? This is a view of sin that Dante promotes that really is also with us heavily in the scriptures, right? That when we talk about sin, we're not simply talking about that which is bad. What we're saying is that sin is usually taking something that is good and using it in a way that makes it bad, that actually makes it destructive. Take sex as an example. Sex is this good thing, this wildly good thing that contained in the good of marriage can actually make it something that strengthens the bond. But outside of marriage, using it for something it wasn't intended, it becomes this incredibly destructive force. Of course, diet, same thing with food, right? You can have too much of your friendships. You can spend so much time with them, you don't make room for the practice and habits of solitude and rest. So Dante right here in Canto number 7, which is our second reflection, he is going with Virgil to the fourth circle of hell, and Virgil is his guide, and he says to him, "My teacher, show me who those people are, and let me know if they were all ordained, those on our left with hair clipped like a clerk." And then Virgil says to Dante, "In the first life, each soul you see here was so cross-eyed in his mind, he held no measure when he saved or spent. The good that was given to them, they didn't know if they should save it or spend it. They didn't have any control or constraint." And also, well, there's clerics in hell, according to Dante. This is spooky for those of us who wear the collar and do this kind of ministry. Earlier in the canto, he says, sin lays them to waste. In other words, they were given much by nature, by God, and what they did with it destroyed them. Knowing that creation, life itself, begins not as a curse, but as a gift. And what sin does is that sin perverts that good gift that God gives us and turns these gifts that are meant to enrich and strengthen our happiness and brings us into a place that feels like we're cursed. And so that's why we do a practice like fasting during Lent. This practice of setting aside good things, right? You don't fast sin, you fast good things. Things that clutter our lives, that make us feel happy. But maybe we take too much joy in those things we fill our lives with, right? Maybe we take too much satisfaction. So here's my question for you guys today. What do you cling to in order to feel safe and secure in life? What do you cling to too much in order to feel safe and secure? And what is God asking you to give up in the season of Lent, or maybe just this week, to give up in order to make more room? So that not only we can make better choices about what to do with the good, but that we can learn to once again receive life as a gift, to receive our relationships as gifts to be used for God's service.